What's up, family? How y'all doing? It is your girl, your diva in knowledge, Lady Mocha, representing Mocha's Cafe de Paris, where I'm going to always serve you wisdom, knowledge, and spiritual awareness. Definitely want to apologize for getting my times and everything confused. I originally was supposed to come on at 7 o'clock this evening. I put it out there since yesterday. Things came up. I got a little far behind, so I figured I would post it. I would actually do the content at 10 o'clock, but the situation got taken care of quicker than what I thought. So I didn't want to wait that late to do my content. So nevertheless, for those who won't be able to attend, the 10 o'clock that I had it for, I'm gonna just leave the upload up, in the event, if anybody wants to catch it later, because I understand I gave two different times and I confused everybody on that, and that is my bad on that, because again, something came up. But nevertheless, I'm going to leave this content up. So for those who cannot catch my live now because it was scheduled to 10, I'm going to leave it up and make sure that they get the opportunity to view my content for tonight. So with that being said, I definitely want to appreciate all of my subscribers, my A1s from day ones. I thank you for still being supportive, still rocking with me, still being loyal subscribers to my channel. I appreciate all of you ladies and all of you guys. Those of you who have recently subscribed, I welcome you to Mocha's Cafe de Paris family. And if you have not subscribed and you like what you hear on tonight's content, please make sure that you subscribe, you share, you hit that like button. That lets me know that I'm doing what I need to do, or maybe I need to work on my craft a little bit better. So whenever you get a chance, just hit that notification bell. That way, when I upload any content, you will not miss out. So with no further ado, I know tonight's topic is going to be a little interesting because, again, a lot of women hate when the subject of single mothers is brought up, especially Black women. We do not like to really have too many people discuss anything referring to us, especially when it relates to our decisions and the choices that we have made. We're quick to get very offended when people bring up topics that hit close to home, like the saying goes, a hit dog a holler. So, all women are not fans of some of the topics that I do because it hits close to home, and it can be it could be pretty touchy. You know what I mean? So but it's on the person how they perceive it. You can take um the lesson from it and try to better yourself, you know what I'm saying? Or you could allow it to make you bitter, or you could allow it to make you better. And I think that is something, as Black women, we need to strive to become better. We don't need to strive to become bitter. Learn how to take constructive criticism, learn how to utilize your bad decisions, and teach other young women that are coming up behind you. What's up, third ward, non-GMO Lord, Gaelic, everybody who's coming in. Appreciate y'all for taking the time out to stop by and hang out with me and view tonight's content. So we're going to get it popping. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about single mothers. That are basically using depression and postpartum as an excuse to justify that they regret becoming a single mother. A lot of them are not going to say it, because we as black women, we are taught to put up this front, and we're taught that no matter how effed up our circumstances are, and no matter how effed up the decisions we have made are, we have learned to pretty much lie to ourselves and make ourselves believe that the decisions we made aren't that bad. We will try to come up with all type of explanations to justify it. We try to come up with all these reasons and all these excuses. Well, I'm the mother and I'm the father. I can hold it down by myself, or I don't need no man to love me. I got my kids to love me. All of these lies over and over and over and over again. And it's time for us as Black women to just stop lying. We need to stop lying. Stop lying. Stop glamorizing the struggle as being a single mother. The shit is hard. Let's stop with the lies, okay? And this is the reason why, as Black women, we cannot grow, we cannot prosper, because we are taught to put up this front that we are strong. We are taught to put up this false persona that we got it all together, and behind closed doors, we are breaking down behind closed doors. We are falling into a state of depression because we have learned to live lies. As Black women, we have learned to live lies. We have lied over and over to ourselves. Not and it's and a lot of the reason, as Black women, we have learned to lie to ourselves is because we were raised under other Black women who taught us how to live with lies. A lot of us are messed up because of the type of women who raised us, the type of women who were supposed to be mothers and set examples. A lot of us were born and raised in lies. A lot of us as Black women, we've had Black mothers who was not honest and not transparent and said, daughter, don't make bad decisions like I did. Don't go around here screwing every Tom, Dick, and Daryl. Don't go around here having multiple baby daddies. A lot of us as Black women, we have had older Black women lie to us. We've had our mothers lie to us. We had our grandmothers lie to us. We had other Black women lie to us, and lies have become our norm. That has become the new norm for Black women. We have learned to live with lies. Your grandmother made you think it was nothing wrong with having 8 or 9 of y'all in the house, even though she was struggling taking care of y'all. Okay? You had your mother lying to you, making you think that, oh, as long as I'm getting my child support every month, we don't need your daddy. I'm the mama and I'm the daddy. And behind closed doors, she was struggling. A lot of us as Black women, our mothers was not honest and told us, do not make the mistakes I made. Do not do the things that I have done. Learn to do things different. Do not create a generational curse. Listen, I effed you up. I messed you up mentally. Don't repeat the same mistakes I made, so my granddaughter, my great granddaughter, my granddaughter, whatever, won't fall into the same entrapment that we have created. So a lot of us, we have been born in lies, okay? And that's why when it's time to hear the truth, we are We are basically allergic to the truth. We as black women have learned to be allergic to the truth. We break out in hives. We itching, we scratching when people, start exposing us to the lies that we have been taught. And it's an unfortunate thing, and it's up to us as black women. You do not have to fall into that same entrapment. You can turn that around today by saying, you know what? I grew up in a household full of lies. I grew up under a woman who raised me to learn how to lie. I refuse to allow my daughters, my granddaughters to fall into that same entrapment, because I see how it has ruined me psychologically, emotionally, physically. I don't want my granddaughters, I don't want my great granddaughters, I don't want them going through it. I can't speak for a lot of black women, but I can speak personally for myself. I was fortunate to have a black woman who did not glamorize the struggle. My mother told me, do not do what I did. Okay? Don't do what I did. You see what I'm going through with all of y'all fathers. You see I'm struggling getting child support. You see I'm struggling paying the rent. You see I'm struggling paying the bills. My mother did not glamorize the single mother struggle to me. Okay, she did not glamorize it. She set me down, she told me the truth, and she told me the hardcore truth of what she went through. She did not glamorize it because she did not want me to follow her footsteps, you know. And because of that, now that I have a 19-year-old daughter, we both have broken the generational curse that my mother had. My mom had me and my siblings from multiple fathers. It's five of us. Okay, and it's like what, three dads, four dads, or whatever. And she taught me to avoid making the decision she made, which is why I didn't. I have my one daughter from my one husband, and here it is, my 19-year-old daughter. She doesn't have any children, and she has learned based on the knowledge that my mother has passed down to me. We were able to bless her with knowledge to where she don't fall into my mother's footsteps, because my mother planted that seed of knowledge. And that's what I'm saying. As black women, even if you mess up, do you not realize you can take your bad decisions and use that as knowledge and wisdom to instill in your daughters that are looking up to you? You can take something you did bad. You can take poor decisions that you made. You can use that as leverage and tell your daughters, look, don't do what I did. I was fast. I was whorish. I was out there. I wanted DNA. I wanted dick and attention. Let's be honest and tell our daughters what it really was. You know what I'm saying? How can we break that curse if we're not being transparent and we're sitting up here lying to our daughters and not being upfront and said, look, back in the days, mama was a whore. I was a hoe. I ain't cared who I slept with. What's up to King Ba, Non-G Mo, everybody who's coming in? What's up, Ted? What's wrong as black women with saying, you know what? I intentionally got pregnant from this man because I thought once I got pregnant from him, I was going to be able to trap him. I was going to be able to get all type of child support, and none of that happened. What is wrong with telling your daughters that so they don't do the same stupid damn stuff you did? If you know how it has affected your life as a black woman, why would you not? If you love your daughter, if you love your son, why would you not tell them that? If you already went through it and you knew the psychological damage it took on your life, why for the life of me would you not pass that knowledge on to your daughters and your sons? And even if you don't have a daughter, tell your sons. Black women, y'all got sons. Why y'all not telling y'all sons, look, son, stay away from women that used to be like I was with men. Okay, stay away from women that only want to get knocked up by you so they can make your life miserable for 18 years. The bad part about it is I'm even hearing black women encouraging their sons to take care of other women's responsibilities. I have seen black women co-sign on their son connecting with a woman who has kids already from several men, and she's convincing her son, persuading her son to date this woman and get with this woman. I'm like, why? For the life of me, if you are a mother, why would you convince your son and make him think that it's all right to get with another woman who has 5, 6 kids from other men so he can play stepdaddy. Why would you want your son to have that much burdens and headaches in his life? You know what I'm saying? It's just, it amazes me how we as black women have learned to live in denial all of our lives. Y'all want y'all sons to be with women who got kids from multiple men. That's unacceptable. Why? Because you're a single mother, so you're going to empathize with this other young woman that's a single mother, and you want your son to father all of her children she had irresponsibly from multiple men. And this is why we as black women in the black community, and I'm not trying to be funny, and I'm not referring this to all black women, because you got some black women who are over it just like the hell I am. We tired of it. All black women is not co-signing on the hood rat shenanigans. Okay, all of us ain't with that. Okay, everybody around here ain't trying to just be a baby mama. You got some black women out here who want to be wives, who want families. They just don't want children. Okay, but I want to get into the subject about single mothers blaming parenting stress on postpartum and depression. So I don't know how many of y'all been keeping up, but in case you haven't heard, there's a video that went viral of a single mother by the name of Aisha Burton. And basically the video has gone viral, and I'm gonna see if I'm gonna play like a snippet of it. I'm not gonna play the whole thing because to me it's just draining. Just hearing her talk and whine and going a single mother crying hiatus, it just was very irritating. I could not watch the whole thing, but I'm going to play a snippet of it because the video goes into the content that I'm basically talking about tonight. And basically she's in the video ranting and raving about her baby mama struggles. She goes on live giving us this whole open book story about her life, and I'm just going to see if I can share it and play like a snippet of it with y'all. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually post the link in the chat, so when I'm done with my live streaming, you ladies, you guys, y'all can check it out or whatever. Uh, Let me see. And that's good, Ted. I'm glad that we do have some real black mothers out there saying, look, son, stay away from her. She's going to ruin your life. I'm glad we got some, women out there that's keeping it 100. Big ups to all of my real black women, my real sisters out there that's not lying, that's not celebrating the struggle. You giving your sons, you giving your daughters wisdom, knowledge, you telling them the truth, you not feeding them with lies. So I commend to all my real black parents out there that's doing the darn thing and keeping it 100. So I'm going to play a snippet of this video, y'all. I'm going to share it. So just bear with me, because I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's just a damn boring ass soap opera. So I'm not going to play this whole video, but I'm going to play a snippet of it. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. We're going to go ahead and share the screen, y'all, and get this content popping. All right. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and share this with y'all. Okay, y'all, we're gonna stop it at that. I don't I already left the link in there. So y'all can view it at your own viewing pleasure. I don't want to take up a lot of time showing that video or whatever, but the link is in the chat room for those of you who want to view it later. I'm just going to give y'all a let's see, turn this thing off here. I just wanted to give y'all a brief a summary of the video, because basically what happens is she attempts to commit suicide. She tries to basically kill herself and her children. Um, if you listen to the video, she starts off by saying how she had a good childhood and she was very spoiled since she was the only child. In addition to her other siblings her father had, I guess from another relationship. She further implied that being the only child gave her the advantage to sneak out of the house, and she became sexually active at a young age. She had the first child before she graduated high school. Then after that child she got pregnant with 10 twins. Then, after she had the twins, she had the audacity to want a little girl. Now, this tends to happen a lot with when young women get pregnant. When their first child is a boy, they eventually want a girl. Or if their first child is a girl, they eventually want a boy. Even if they struggled with the first child, they still want another child to have a different gender. After that, she still had two more. She still had two more, and basically, she became a mother of five. Miss Burton became a mother of five. She proceeds with her single mother sob story about how she changed her whole life around for a man she was so dearly in love with, who she discovered was married. If you watch the link, you will see her crying and whining over and over about how much she loved him, and all along he was married. So basically, she decided that she was going to take her life along with her kids because she didn't want to leave her children behind. So she does this video viral, and she's driving in the car down the highway. She has her kids in the car with her. She's crying, she's pouring down tears, she's putting on this love and hip hop performance. Um, Basically, telling everybody live that I'm going to kill myself and I'm taking these children with me. Exactly, Vanna. Yeah, Vanna. I'm hoping I know I'm not saying your name right. I apologize about that if I'm butchering it. But yeah, she basically, she is pouring down in tears about this man that she found out was married. And fortunately, in this case, nothing happened. If you watch the link, you will see her crying over and over about the married man. And basically, she was going to take her life and the kid's life. But nothing happened, fortunately. No one was injured, including her children. But the car was flipped over in the interstate. So it is by the grace of God. It just was not their time to go, because the car, it did flip over, but none of the children was injured. Surprisingly, the little baby she had on her lap, um she was not injured either, and she didn't have a seatbelt on. So it was by the grace of God. It was just not their time to go. um Ironically, after that, she was sent to the hospital. Shortly thereafter, she made a GoFundMe page saying that she was a young, struggling single mother that needed to raise $10,000 to support her children, and the whole incident was just a cry out for attention. Isn't that ironic, y'all? The whole situation was pointless, and she really could have killed her children because her newborn was in her lap, unbuckled when she went live. Now, if she believes for a second that DFACS isn't going to pursue a case against her, she's sadly mistaken. But then again, I won't be surprised if they don't get involved, because it is always the unfit mothers like this that constantly keep getting a pass for fuckery behavior. It is single mothers just like her that automatically feel entitlement to sympathy because she has multiple children she is struggling to take care of. Okay, now with that being being said, she claimed that she had no clue that the man was married. I have a problem when women say this. I have a problem when women say, I did not know he was married. Now, in some instances, especially if you was only with the guy for a short period of time, if it was a one night stand, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to know. Okay. But I believe she knew this man was married. A lot of women will use this. I didn't know he was married as excuse to escape accountability. Women have been sleeping with married men for years. This has been going on for centuries. And then they will sit up there and play crazy like, I didn't know he was married. Oh, you didn't know he was married, even though the only time he would see you is after 3, 4 in the morning. You didn't know when he was married, when he would always text you and never call you. Oh, you didn't know he was married when he never took you out in public places. You didn't know he was married, even though he would always take you out of town, take you places where you're nowhere in town where y'all could never run into anybody. Oh, but you didn't know he was married. You didn't know he was married, even though you seen that big ass ring on his finger. Oh, I didn't know he was married. I didn't know he was married. That after y'all got done, after he got done smashing you and your duplex apartment on your air mattress, and he left you 4, 5 in the morning, didn't even offer to take you to Waffle House to get you a waffle and a cheesesteak omelet. Oh, I didn't know he was married. That's a bunch of bull crap. A lot of us as women, we be knowing these dudes be married, but what it is thirst, when thirst and desperation sets in and you can't get attention from nobody else, you're willing to take it from whoever the hell you can get it from, even if he's married. So a lot of these women, y'all can miss me with that. I didn't know he was married because the signs be right there in your face. Okay. What's up, Rollo? How you doing? Good to see you, Rollo. Thank you for stopping to the show. Appreciate you. Now, she claims she didn't know the man was married. The only way a woman is not going to know a man is married is if she slept. One reason a woman is not going to know a man is married if one, she slept with him so fast she didn't give herself a chance to know anything about him before she did. Some of us as black women, y'all are very damn promiscuous. The feminist movement has lied to y'all and made y'all think that y'all are on the same level as men, that y'all can screw as many men as women can screw, as men could screw women. It's this false sense of entitlement that a woman can do what a man can do, and that's far from the truth or whatever. And yeah, Rollo, I'm gonna do a part 2 on it. So when I do my part 2, I'll definitely bring you on that because this is gonna be a long content. I got a lot of points I got to get out, but I'm definitely going to do a part 2, and I definitely want you on with that. That way I can get a man's perspective, because I know a lot of guys out here can relate, and it's some awesome input that you can give me for that. But I'm definitely going to do a part 2. Um, so this is the thing, like I said, it's a lot of we as black women, a lot of us are very promiscuous. You think the moment you have your eyes set on a guy, in your mind, you have already decided you're going to give him some way before he even takes you out to get your first set of wild wings at Chili's. You have already decided because he looks good, he looks fine. Oh, girl, he can get it. A lot of black women are not going to admit to that, but we already know from the moment we meet a guy if we're going to sleep with him or not. Okay. And again, this feminist movement has gave women this false misconception that I can do what a man can do. If I want some dick, I'm gonna get some dick. Okay, you have some females that really think like that. They just as gut bucket, gutter, hood rat, strag material who really believe in just getting some wood, and they okay with that. What's up, sassy diva? Good to see you. We're all black women. We all got that one girlfriend who think she can, who thinks she's Queen of Zamunda because she swears she has the power between her legs to screw any man and as many men as she can screw. I've known females personally who really feel like who really feel they have that right to just go around screwing and sleeping with all kind of men. They don't care if they married men. They don't care what kind of men they are. You know what I mean? They will still sleep with these dudes. Okay, so for this lady not to realize that this guy was married, she had to go. She had to obviously she went to bed with him fast, because had she took the time to get to know him, she would have known he was married before she let this dude bang her back out. So for all these women who sit up here, I didn't know he was married. That's probably because you took him to bed so goddamn quick. You didn't get a chance to find out any goddamn way if he was married or not. So that's the first thing. Secondly, like most women, she saw all the signs. Let me tell you something. These women be knowing they dealing with married men. Okay, a man don't have to tell a woman I'm married for them to know he's married. You can tell, like I mentioned earlier, that a man is married just based on the things that he does. Only coming to your duplex apartment 3, 4 in the morning. When he meets with you, he wants you to meet in another county. He don't even want you to meet in the county where y'all live and work at. All of we as women, come on, we already know. You know when you dealing with a married man. Quit playing. You can't call his phone anytime you want. You can't bust up to his crib, his house anytime you want. You know these dudes be married. Y'all, like, the problem is a lot of these women have reached a new level of desperation and thirst. They don't care if these men are married anymore. They don't care. But what tends to happen is these females start off wanting to be side chicks, but they want to catch main chick emotions. And you can't do that. If you want to sign up to be a side chick, that's what you are to be, the side chick, which means your ass stays to the side. You are not to be seen. You are not to be noticed. You are not to be heard. You're supposed to be to the side. How many of us got the restaurants, right? Appetizers do not come with the main meal, does it? If it does, somebody in here need to let me know. Whenever you go to a restaurant, appetizers never come with the main meal. The appetizer comes first, or whatever, for that moment. After you done had that appetizer, here comes the main meal. Okay? So you cannot have the privilege of both. And that's the problem with a lot of these females out here. They want to be side chicks, but they want main chick benefits. And they catch main chick feelings. It does not work like that. So my thing is, for this woman to be up here pouring down, crying and complaining, I didn't know he was married. She saw the signs, but she overlooked them because she wanted him just that bad. She wanted him just that bad, you know. And it's a lot of women that do what this female has done. They see all the signs, but they want the man so bad, so they will overlook it. Next, another reason a woman may not know that a man is married, she just didn't ask. Some women, y'all won't even ask. Y'all won't even ask. Y'all won't ask a man, are you married? You're not going to ask. Once you see how good he looks, once you see what kind of car he's driving, all common sense goes out the door. And don't let him put that good pipe game down. You sure not going to ask no questions because you already gone in the goddamn wind. She just didn't ask. Believe it or not many women ask men a simple but yet serious question: are you married? And I agree with that, Jonathan. Thank you for coming in. I don't want to deal with married officer that does that. Yeah. And it happens. You got some women, and it's a reason for that. And a lot of people asking that question all the time. I'm always asked, well, Mocha, why women always why do some women only opt to date married men? And the reason for that is because they want something that's already built. Something that it took time and years into another woman having to groom and build. They don't want to put in that work. It's kind of like if you buy a brand new car and you the one who's been making all the payments on it. You the one that got nice rims on it. You the one that got the leather interior seats. You the one that got all this work done. Okay. Next person wants to come along and get that car for free or little or nothing, even though they didn't put no time, no money, no nothing into it. They want it already made and built for them. That way, that's less work they have to do. And you have, yep, that's what it is, Wallow Babylon culture. And you have a lot of women that think like that. They want a man that's already built. They want a man that took another woman time, years, and effort into building. They don't want to go out there and get their own man and deal with a dude that's struggling from scratch so she can help to build that man, and that way they can have something significant together. No, you have some of these women, they want to do the shortcut way. You know what I'm saying? They want it already made so they don't have to put in no work. But nevertheless, I know I'm digressing. uh I've heard a woman who found out a man she had been seeing admitted that he was married, but she said she was willing to deal with him anyway because she had already caught feelings for him. So again, and like one of the gentlemen here in the chat room said, you got some women, they intentionally only deal with married men. So it is what it is. So I can't see this lady in this video who's pouring down in tears saying she didn't know this guy was married. She knew. Black single mothers have been pulling this sympathy stunt for years. What tends to happen is these women intentionally make the choice to have multiple children, in many cases from multiple fathers, only to discover the benefits don't outweigh the responsibilities. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about single mothers blaming poor decisions on depression and postpartum. Now, I want to also bring two other cases to y'all as I go into this content, to show you that this is something that's starting to become a phenomenon for Black women. This is starting to become a trend. This is starting to become a habit. Um, a lot of single Black mothers are jumping off on the deep end because they can't stand the backlash of all the turmoils and the struggles that come along with being a single mother. So now what a lot of these single moms are doing, they're either killing themselves or they're killing their children, which is going to bring me to the next thing I want to share with y'all on my screen. I want to share this with y'all as well. Now this happened uh back in 2019. I talked about this on one of my contents a couple of months back, but I want to bring it back up because this is an example of what I'm talking about on tonight's content. How we have this young woman, we have this woman here. Mother leaves her 3 kids in a car and jumps to her death off of bridge. Now, keep in mind this happened back in 2019, but this is one of those stories that is a prime example of what I'm saying about single Black mothers who cannot handle the single Black mother struggle. Pennsylvania woman jumped off her death of the Homestead Grays Bridge Friday after she stopped her car with 3 children inside. Travelord reports Stanley Allen Holbrook, only 26 years old, stopped her vehicle on the bridge, then walked to the railing and jumped around 7:20 p.m. Authorities stated her body was recovered around 9:15 p.m. Pittsburgh Public Safety spokesperson Chris Togneri said in a statement that emergency responders were called after multiple witnesses reported that a woman was on the outer bridge railing. The woman stopped her vehicle in traffic on the bridge and went to the railing. Police discovered 3 children between the ages of 1 and 9 still in the vehicle. Children were taken to the hospital for evaluation, then turned over to Family Youth Services. Reports stated that they were unsure if the children belonged to Holbrook, blah, blah, blah. That's irrelevant. But anyway, I remember when this happened. Now, this happened back in 2019, guys. It happened in June 2019. And I went on her Facebook page. And like I said, remember what I told y'all earlier, how Black women, we like to lie? How we like to put up a front. Remember, I told you guys that. I told you ladies that. How we like to put up this front. And on her Facebook timeline, because I wanted to get an idea of what kind of woman she was and what she was really going through. So I went on her Facebook page right before she actually committed suicide, and she posted all of these pictures of herself with her children, making it seem like she was happy being a single mother. Oh, I love my kids. It's me and my kids. It's me and my children. They're the best thing that ever happened to me. She displayed no signs that she was going to kill herself. She made it seem like the single mother struggle was glamorous. Like I said, black women, we love to lie. We love to live delusions. We love to make it seem like we got it together. We love to make it seem like we're not in pain. We're not in shame. We got it all together. When I went on her Facebook page, she lived a totally different lifestyle compared to the depression that she was under. And basically, matter of fact, it says here, Holbrook posted a status on Facebook last October about her children and how she always loves them. Remember what I said? Denial or delusions. That's something that black women, we need to get that out of our system. On her Facebook page, she said, "My kids are the realest ones on my team. The love they give me is unconditional. I'm blessed. I know it gets hard, but I signed up for this job no matter the highs or lows. I'm always going to give them all of my love. I'm gonna always give them all my all, okay? Because my creator gave me each day to value them and share the moments. Best feeling hearing mama, I love you." Now let me unshare this. Let me unshare this right quick. This what I'm saying. The lies. The lies, the lies, the lies. Banana, I hope I'm saying your name right, hun. A lot of single mothers post on Facebook putting up a facade. Thank you. We have one honest sister in the building. And we as black women, we know when other black women are fronting. You get what I'm saying? We be peeping it from the bushes. Like I stated, she was on Facebook acting like she was fine. She loved being a single mother. But yet she jumped off the bridge and killed herself. It's too much. It's too much. I don't care what any of these black women say. It is too much taking care of multiple children. It's too goddamn much. What's up, Topaz? How you doing, sweetie? It's so good to see you. I'm glad you was able to catch my live. And my sister, of course, Poetic Kale's in the building. I'm gonna send you and Ruby an email for Friday, not this Friday coming up, for next Friday, to do a panel. But this is what I'm saying for everybody who's coming in the chat, wanting to know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about this video that went viral, of this young lady who went on Facebook. Not yeah, I think it was Facebook. She went on Facebook or one of those sites, pouring down crying tears, basically about how she changed her whole life for a man who she found out was married, and basically she was going to kill herself. She's a mother of 5 and she's not even 30 years old, talking about killing herself, all because she could not handle the fact that the man she wanted was already married. And basically she was live letting everybody know she was going to kill herself, kill her children, only for the car to flip over. And surprisingly, nobody got hurt, nobody died. And then she had the audacity to put up a GoFund page while she was in the goddamn hospital talking about, can y'all give me $10,000 to take care of my 5 children? Are you goddamn serious? And we got some black women who think like this and they see nothing wrong with it. It's embarrassing. And we wonder why as black women we cannot be taken serious because of females who do dumb stuff like this. It makes all black women look like something is psychologically wrong with us. So anyway, I'm talking about the different, I've been given different scenarios on these single mothers who try to always brag about how happy they are to be single mothers, but then you see them jumping off in the deep end. Like I just showed a story of another black woman who jumped off the bridge and killed herself and left her 3 kids here. But on Facebook, she's saying how much she loves her kids and she thanks God for her children. But she killed herself and left them behind. I think that's a selfish act for a woman to want to kill herself, to leave your babies here for somebody else to raise them, because people are not going to treat your children the way you treat your children. You get what I'm saying? People are not going to treat your kids right. You know, people will, it's easy to get tired of other people's kids because they're not their own. You know what I mean? So when a mother decides to kill herself, I have a problem with that. I think it's very selfish. You leaving your kids behind and you're not here to protect them. if somebody's abusing them. You don't know if the people that's going to have to take custody of your children have a perverted ass uncle or perverted ass, brother-in-law that likes to touch children, because you have people who know they have people in their family who got this problem, and yet they will leave their kids with them anyway. And this is just bananas to me, but that's what she did. Another case that I'm going to share with y'all as well. Another black single mother who killed herself. Let me also share this one with y'all, because all of this is going to tie into my content tonight. So I'm gonna share my screen for this one more story, and this will be my last time I share the screen. So I'm gonna show y'all this story as well. Family said depression may have driven mother to drive into the Kalamazoo River. You see the picture right here of the woman, God bless her soul, with her two daughters. Um, a West Michigan family mourned the loss of a mother and her two twin daughters after they were found dead inside the car that plunged into the Kalamazoo River on Monday night. Signs of depression were visible to some family members of Aneza McClinton, 44 years old, but not the others. They suspect feelings of sadness and loneliness drove her to drive her car into the Kalamazoo River, killing herself and Angel and Faith McClinton, her twin 9-year-old daughters. I want my mom back. I want my sisters back. It's a very hard pill to swallow, says Tishron McClinton, Aneza's daughter. The family said the personality of Ineza used to glow, as did Angel and Faith. They were just so smart and bright, Jeanette McClinton, Ineza's sister, said. Uh, Tishron said she could tell her mother, her single mother, was having trouble. Her daughter proceeds with she was having some difficulties in life. She was talking about how she was tired, sad, and lonely. She said, never in a million years would I thought she had a plot or a plan. Jeanette said, would have wanted to help if only she would have known there was a problem. I don't know why she just didn't reach out to us. Uh So basically, the story goes on. The daughter said she didn't feel like herself. They're blaming depression and all this and that. And you know what? I'm going to unshare the screen, but rest in peace to the young lady and her twin daughters. Let me unshare this. Let me unshare it. Let me unshare it. But this is my point. This is what I'm talking about. It's too many of us as black women. We running with these excuses. What's up, Water Sniper? What's up, Mr. Cum? Uh, just the thought of her, think of somebody wants her with her 5 kids. Um, they intended somebody else to raise them before they got pregnant. It's all kind of malicious reasons behind it. But this is why I'm doing tonight's topic. I'm talking about single mothers blaming poor decisions on depression and postpartum. Um, what tends to happen is a lot of these single black mothers who um basically put themselves in these type of predicaments. They look for sympathy. You have a lot of women that think having children is a game. They have multiple children like it's a sport. And the truth is, most of these women have children for malicious reasons. And we're going to break down the malicious reasons for why these single mothers are having children. The first reason is to earn the baby mama bundle, which are benefits through the state, welfare, housing, and food stamps. The second reason is as a hood hustle to obtain income so they don't have to work. Uh, a lot of women are intentionally having multiple children because they know the more children they have, that is the more assistance they get from the state. And that is the more income they produce from the father. Also, women tend to have children, multiple children, to retaliate against the father who clearly has no desire to be with them. This is nothing new. Women have been doing this for years and they're still doing it. They will intentionally have children just so they can gain some type of control over a man's life who they know really does not want to be with them. Yeah, they did get together sexually, but Evidently, the man didn't have feelings like she did. And her being the desperate woman she was, she did not take no means to protect herself, or either she lied, whatever she did to manipulate the situation. Now she's has this child, and she's able to use the child as leverage and as a weapon, to get what she wants out of the father, because she knows the father does not want her. So basically, the child is used to keep the man in bondage because she knows she really can't have the man. um as again, women do this as leverage. Also, the reason why you have a lot of women that do this is so their parents could keep aiding them. Most of these single mothers know they have parents that are willing to support them. They know they have family that's willing to enable them, so they continue to have children so their family could keep assisting them. um you have a lot of people that do that. You have a lot of parents out there who take a lot of crap off of their children because they don't want their grandchildren in the street. They don't want their grandchildren suffering. And a lot of these adult children, they know how to manipulate their parents. They know how to tell their parents, well, I don't have no money. I don't have nowhere to go. And a lot of these grandparents are up in their age. They don't want their children to suffer. They don't want their grandchildren to suffer. And these manipulative baby mamas, they know that. They know they got parents that love their children, so they use that as leverage to get their parents to keep doing for them. That happens a lot in the black community. We all know that one chick who always leave her kids on her mama, who always leave her kids on the parents. And they do this because they know the parents really love their grandchildren, and they take advantage of the situation. The other reason is to trap a man into staying with them. Some will go so far as to lying about being on birth control. When females reach a desperate state in which they feel there's no hope, they feel that getting pregnant is their only option to getting a man. So basically, a lot of these women who have all of these multiple children, I just explained to you the reasons why a lot of them do that. It's about hustling. It's about the benefits from the state. It's about trying to retaliate at the man. It's about having their parents to always help them or trying to chop a man. They do all of that to only have it all to backfire on them. It backfires. And when it backfires, now they want to claim depression. I just can't take anymore. He's not sending me any more child support. I'm not getting any more food stamps. My parents will not keep my kids for me so I can get in the club before 11 and get free drinks. I cannot go and run the streets like I used to. I can't just spend my money on hair bundles and that city trends and rainbows because I have to buy diapers. I have to buy baby formula. All of this stuff that they have to go through now because they put themselves in the positions to be single mothers. Now they can't take it anymore. Once they realize the benefits is not outweighing the stress, is not outweighing all of the responsibilities. Now they want to claim postpartum. Now these single mothers want to blame depression. Now we're talking about depression. We coming up with all these excuses and lies because the truth is now you realize you done bit off more than you could chew. All these women that's up here killing themselves or threatening to kill themselves, it's not depression. That's an excuse. It's not depression. It's called I regret putting myself in the struggle. That is what it's called. So, what are these single mothers are discovering? What is making these single mothers go over the head or jump over the edge? What's making them claim they're depressed? What's making them claim they got postpartum? I'm going to break down all of the elements of that. What a lot of these single mothers are discovering is, like anything else in life, when you do things out of spite, in some form or another, it is bound to come back to haunt you. It is called karma. Karma. Carma. A lot of these single mothers are paying the debt to karma, because a lot of them had their children out of spite and maliciousness. Many single mothers are paying the price for making the choice to breed seeds with shady motives and malicious intentions. A lot of them are paying their debt to karma. You had all of these kids thinking you was going to live like an Atlanta housewife, and that hasn't happened. You thought you was going to be able to control a man, and you still can't control him. He still don't want you. He still don't want to be with you. He still end up with somebody else. All of this stuff you have done to try to think you was going to win in the end, only to end up taking a major L. Another thing is, what these single mothers are discovering, I want y'all to follow me. Even though, yes, they do get food stamps, they get housing, they get child support, they get government assistance, but sooner they later, they discover the hardships are far worse than the benefits. Let me see what some of y'all are saying. Let me go back to here. Postpartum has a set of symptoms and diagnosis and treatment. It is messed up for anyone to lie and try to use that for selfish gain. Absolutely, and that's exact that, and that's what they're doing. Topaz, they're lying and saying, "I'm depressed. I can't take anymore. It's too much." No, you put yourself in a position to have too much on your plate, because it wasn't no depression when you was getting that good wood, girlfriend. You wasn't claiming no depression then. Okay, don't use that out of convenience now, because now you want to break. Now you don't want to have to be responsible for the burdens that you created for yourself. The next thing they're discovering is there has been numerous of stories on social media, like I just showed y'all two different examples, well, three, of single mothers killing themselves, and in some cases killing their children. Just like this female that I showed y'all earlier, a video clip of her, Aisha Burton, attempted to do. Because they are finding out the hard way that the single baby mama benefits don't outweigh the stress, the emotional toll, the financial hardships of single parenting. Like the one lady who she set both of her kids, she put them in the oven, she turned on the oven and burnt both of them. She couldn't take it anymore. She had three kids. My thing is, why are black women, I need to ask this question, why are they finding out how hard it is 5 kids later? This is my question to some of these sisters out here. Why are y'all finding out how hard it is 5 kids later? You didn't see how hard it was with the first one. You didn't see how hard it was with the second one. You didn't see how hard it was with the third one. You didn't see how hard it was with the fourth one. You didn't see how hard it was with the fifth one. You didn't see how hard it was with the sixth one. And yet, some of y'all, not only that, some of these women have the audacity to go out there and get pregnant from dudes who have multiple children from multiple women. So you don't mind your child being child number 10? You got to share your baby father with 8, 7 other baby mamas who barely get his undivided attention as well. This is the decision that we are making as black women. But yet we want sympathy and empathy, and we feel entitled. We feel entitled. And how dare anybody call us out on our bull? How dare anybody has anything to say about what we do? But I guarantee you, this would be the same chick who went viral crying about how she found out she was dealing with a married man and she was going to kill herself and her 5 children. This would be the same chick that'll turn around and tell everybody, stay out my mud effing business. Mind your business. Now, even though you don't put your business out there now, you'll tell somebody to mind their business. Black women pull that all the time. Y'all need to mind y'all business. Well, damn, stop putting your business on social media. Stop putting your business on Facebook. Stop telling people to mind their business, but you're putting it out there. It's this contradictory. And this is the reason why, as black women, a lot of us, we don't get the respect that we are seeking. Now, these women think it's a game until reality hits them that being a single mother is not a trip in paradise. Now, I know y'all are probably saying, these single mamas, but they got it easy. They get WIC, they get child support, they get food stamps, they got parents that help them out, they got it made. But in the words of Pastor Jakes, for every burden, there's a blessing. For every blessing is a burden. These single mothers are finding out that many of them have bitten off way more than they can afford to chew. So now we will discuss the realities that these single mothers are going through. Now, like I said, all of this facade, this fake flexing on Facebook and social media. Oh, I'm the mama and I'm the daddy. I got it all under control. I got it all figured out. All my kids need is me. They don't need nobody but me. 9 times out of 10, this is what I notice about some of us as black women. I come to the realization that when they say one thing, you have to reverse it. For instance, if you have a black single mother that sits up there and say, my kids don't need nobody, I'm the mom and I'm the daddy. What she really saying is, I hate that I put myself in the position that I got to be the mom and the daddy. And since I don't have a choice, I have to acknowledge that I don't mind being the mom and the daddy because I don't have a choice in the matter. A lot of y'all are bragging about how you holding it down, how you the mama and you the daddy, you the single mama, you got it. You don't need nobody to help you. You don't have a choice, boo. You don't have a choice. You bragging like you made that choice. Nothing irritates me more than a woman who sits up here trying to brag like she got it all together when really you don't have no choice but to keep it together. You don't get any brownie points. Why are single mothers around here looking for to be called a hero? You're not a goddamn hero. You're a mother. That is what mothers do. Okay? When you sit up here and you lay up with Pookie, Ray Ray, JJ, and Mike and all of them, guess what? You don't become a hero because you have had these kids and you're taking care of them. That is your job as a mother to take care of your children. You're not a hero. So y'all can miss me with the I got it. If nobody else don't got it, I'ma do it. I got me and I got my kids. Well, you better have them because Dara, Pookie, and Ray Ray not gonna put no money on the books this month. They ain't even acknowledging them. They wasn't even there when you gave birth to the children at the hospital. Ain't signed no birth certificate or anything. So we as black women, y'all can miss me with that. Stop acting like you got it all under control. If you really got it under control, it's going to speak for itself. You don't have to walk around acknowledging it. You don't have to post it on Facebook. If you got it all together, people will see it for what it is. The more you have to acknowledge how much you got it together, the more I know you really don't have it together. Because why do you have to keep acknowledging it? Okay? It's common sense. I don't have to acknowledge that I'm a black woman when people can look at me and see I'm goddamn black. Well, I got to keep going around saying, I'm a black woman, I'm a black woman, I'm a black woman. People can look at me and see that. So guess what? If you're really holding it down and you got your shit together and you handling your business and you taking care of your kids and you don't need nobody, people are going to know it right when they meet you without you having to go around announcing it to the whole goddamn world. Like, miss me with that. Banana says you are right. It's karma because they don't take into consideration that some men don't want to be fathers, and that's very very true statement. And unfortunately, a lot of black women we have been playing ourselves for years. I've had women tell me, well, he said he didn't want no kids, but yet she ended up pregnant. He said he wasn't ready for no kids, but she got pregnant anyway. Well, he didn't want to wear anything. You as the woman, you don't ever put your life in the control of another man's hands. As a woman, that is your womb, that is your vagina. You ought to protect it. If you don't care about yourself, what makes you think another dude is going to help you care about yourself? You as a woman, you got to protect yourself because at the end of the day, when you get knocked up, that bag is just going to be on you. A man, he can decide if he wants to be there or not. He can walk away if it's too much for him. As a mother, on the other hand, you can't walk away. And guess what? A lot of these women know it. That's why they jumping off the deep end. They committing suicide. You know, they're taking their kids with them because they know they can't walk away. So the only way they feel is their way out. They just gonna take themselves out. But my thing is, you got to realize when you done did that and you got to go to the other side and meet your maker, how you gonna explain that to him? Oh Lord, I just couldn't take it no more. You ain't gonna be able to explain. You going straight to the pits of hell. It's real out there. But anyway, we're gonna discuss the harsh realities of single parenting. Single mothers are discovering that governmental assistance isn't always enough. That's a harsh reality. That's why you got some of these women jumping off the deep end. They falling into depression because they finding out even with governmental assistance, you don't get a whole lot like people think, because the government only covers certain things and the government only covers a certain percentage. At the end of the day, you still gonna need a job, you still gonna need other sources of income, because you're not going to get but so much help from governmental assistance. Next, single mothers are discovering that the money isn't necessarily taking the place of having a reliable father. That's coming back to basically haunt a lot of single mothers. They intentionally get pregnant from these dudes so they can get a paycheck, they can get some money. Now, once the courts have granted them money, granted them paychecks, now they see, okay, no, the money ain't enough. I want him to actually come around and be in a child's life. That's actually what's going on with NBA player. I don't know. I think he plays for the Knicks or used to play for the Knicks. I don't know. Got men. I don't keep up with sports. Maybe y'all know who Anthony Carmelo plays for. Anthony Carmelo, he had an outside child on his wife, Lala Anthony. And Lala, you know, she's been doing everything she can. The baby mom has been doing everything she can to get Carmelo Anthony's attention. Now, mind you, she's already getting a paycheck. We know that for a fact, okay? Because we know Anthony Carmelo has bread. So she's getting the money, but now what's bothering her, she's saying that Anthony Carmelo and his wife is still together. They still booed up on social media. They still together. Now she does not just want the money. She wants Anthony Carmelo to be a part of the child's life. She wants Anthony to get that child, take that child to Disney, take that child around the family. And Anthony is not doing any of that. Cause he knows he messed up his marriage. He know he embarrassed his wife. He's trying to fix it with his wife. He ain't got time to sit up there and play daddy to his side baby. And he's not doing that. And it's not the child's fault. It's not that the child deserves it. But when you play stupid games, you end up with stupid prizes. And that's what ended up happening because now, like I said, now she wants this man to step up. You getting a paycheck. Oh, that ain't good enough no more. So I know you got you nice Lexus in the driveway. I know you got all of this wonderful stuff that you getting out your check every month, but now she sees that no, my child is asking for daddy, and my money is not replacing that. Because children don't understand money. That's what a lot of single mothers are not understanding. Children don't understand money. Children don't care how much money is going your daddy's putting into the account. They want to know who their daddy is. Why my daddy won't get me? Why my daddy won't spend time with me? Why my daddy ain't come to see me for my birthday? All of that, and you can't, and you won't tell them the truth. You're not going to tell your child, oh, because mommy was a whore. I was trying to secure the bag. You're not going to tell your child that. Instead, you're going to lie to the child to make it seem like, oh, he just ain't want you. Your daddy ain't never wanted you. He ain't never cared for you. All that is so you don't have to take accountability. What's up, Trax Swanson? 49 Jubilee. I'm not Jubilee reiterating that question for me because I'm not sure what you're referring to. And I haven't really been looking at the chat. So just yeah, reword that question for me so I'm trying to understand what you're asking in relation to. They're finding out when you have multiple children, the more expensive it is to take care of them. The more kids you have, the more they cost. It's simple as that. This is the harsh realities that these single moms are finding out. And that's why they're jumping off the deep end. That's why they are falling, quote, quote, into depression. And all it is just an scapegoat for saying, damn, I done effed up. I had no business having all of these kids from all of these men, and now I got to live with these regrets. That's what they really saying, but they're not going to say it like that. Um, I'm having men in her family as a stand-in father. She probably does, Jubilee, but no, what it is, she wants Anthony Carmelo since he's the star. She wants her child to be walking around on his shoulders and his arms. I'm sure she has other men, but no, she wants Anthony Carmelo because that is the child's father. She wants him to be in the limelight like Lala Anthony and his son Keon. I think his name is Kenyon or something like that. She wants her child to enjoy her father's success by being acknowledged. And Anthony Carmelo's, he's not doing that. As Dr. Torpez, there's no escape for it. As a black woman, as a black single mother, when you make the choice to have multiple children for multiple men, you can't run from that shit. Once you do it, you stuck in it. You're stuck in it. It's like once you take your first hit of crack, you can't turn back from it. Well, once you hooked, you hooked. That's what I'm saying. A lot of women are playing Russian roulette with their wombs by getting pregnant from all these random dudes. But once these kids are here, you can't get rid of them. They're yours. Um, they also finding out when you have multiple fathers, it's hard to get all the cooperation you need. As single mothers, if you're going around here getting knocked up and you got 4 or 5 baby daddies, you got 5. Let's say you got 4 baby daddies. That means you got to go through 4 different men to get the cooperation and help you need. Had you had all of your children from that one man who was married to you or you was in a relationship with, you wouldn't have to go through all that. A lot of these single mothers are stressed out because they got to deal with too many different men. They got too many different baby daddies they got to deal with. You may have one baby daddy that's in and out of jail all the time, okay? So he's never around. He never stays out of jail long enough to have anything to do with your child. The second baby daddy may be one who has his own family, remarried, got a new wife, living his best life. He don't want to be bothered because he's too busy doing him. You may have the other one, the third baby daddy, who loves to get his child, but he never wants to give you no money. He does not want to financial support. He will get the child every weekend. He will get the child, anytime you need help, but he don't never send you no money. Then the fourth baby daddy may be just a straight thug. Don't want to do nothing but smoke weed, you know what I'm saying? And smoke weed and live off of different females, go from Section 8 house to Section 8 house. He makes his living off other women. This is the position that black women put themselves in as single mothers when they sit up here and have multiple children for multiple different men. This is stuff we don't think about. You don't care about it. You don't think about it. You don't care. Yep. And that's true, Trax Ransom. But what's finding out is she has the money, but now, see, that's not good enough no more. She wants Anthony Carmelo to actually step up and be posted on front cover magazines acknowledging his daughter. And that's the most hurtful point of the matter, is that when you got this man give you all this money, but he will not acknowledge your child. He will not take that child out in public. He will not go on front cover magazines saying, this is my beautiful daughter. She wants the acknowledgement. She don't want the money anymore. This is what happens to a lot of single mothers. At first, they get pregnant because they want the money. But once they get the money, they realize, you know what? I really want him to acknowledge his child. I want him to get his child. I want him to spend weekends with his child. Guess what? As long as he paying his money, he ain't got to do a goddamn thing else. And that's where it backfires. See, when you being greedy and going after a dollar, what it does is it makes it easier for the man, because as long as the man is paying you money, you cannot expect him to do anything else. And as is the truth of the matter. Um, Yeah, people in hell want ice water. Exactly. You're not going to have the best of both worlds. You're not going to sit up here and get knocked up and have a child, especially when you and him did not sit down together and make that agreement. Now, it's one thing as a man and a woman, y'all sat down, y'all made an agreement. Okay, we want a child. We're going to raise a child together, even if we don't get married. How's backfiring is women is up here lying. They are basically having these cheated pregnancies. They cheat and getting these children here maliciously, and now you want your child to enjoy having a real father, and you cheat your child out of that from the start when you bring a child in this world maliciously. Um, Also, single mothers also finding out it's difficult when the father of your child has gotten married or is in a relationship and created a whole nother family. A lot of women don't think about this when they get knocked up by these dudes. They just want to get pregnant so they can get some child support allotment. But guess what? If he has a whole family, the courts are going to take into consideration that he can only give you a certain percentage because he has a wife, he has a family, he has another set of individuals that he also has to financially contribute to. A lot of these females don't think about that. A lot of us as black women, we don't think about stuff like that. We just want to get pregnant and secure the bag. But if he already has a family, you're not going to get as much as you think you're going to get. Exactly, I agree with that, Trax Winston. Next is some women don't get much, if any, support from the family or the child's father family. Comes from the baby mama basically burning bridges. Um, Let me tell you something. A lot of these black single mothers, another reason why a lot of them are struggling is because a lot of them have burnt bridges. They don't burnt bridges. All of us know that one sister. It may be somebody in your family. It may be a cousin. It may be a sister. You may even have a best friend who has done it, who has burnt bridges with people who tried to help her with her child. A lot of these women will get on Facebook, will get on social media, and rant and rave how ain't nobody there for them and ain't nobody there for their kids and nobody don't look out for them and nobody don't look out for their kids. But what they're not saying is they burnt bridges. People who kept your kids for you, you either would not come back and pick your kids up on time, or either people you were supposed to pay for helping you with your children, you did not pay them, you did not get them no money. A lot of these black single mothers, they are constantly burning bridges. I know some personally who have burnt bridges. Family was there for them when the baby father wasn't, and they gave the family they asked to kiss. The same people who was there for them, they did them dirty. Now they want to cry, ain't nobody there for me. Nobody care about me or my children. Whose fault is that? What's up, Ambion? And what's up, Nolan? How y'all doing? This is a big thing that goes on in the black community. I've seen black women who will sit there and bitch and moan them out. Nobody don't never help them with their kids. Everybody who done ever helped you, you done burnt them. You played them. You lied to them. You manipulated them. You didn't pay people. All the people who helped you, you talked about them. You dragged their name through the mud. I can name some women off the list who have done this and will sit there and cry and play victim, and they don't understand why nobody ain't there for them and their kids. You know why people ain't there for you and your kids, because you was doing too much. And it's sad, but a lot of kids' blessings are gonna get blocked because they got parents that's so goddamn ignorant. A lot of people not understanding they kids could have way more love, way more support if they wasn't as nasty and evil as they are. A lot of kids are getting blessings blocked because their parents is just straight ignorant. Their mother is just straight trifling. You act like somebody gotta help you with your kids instead of you being appreciative, saying thank you. You paying people that's keeping your kids for you. You know, you how you dropping your kids off on people and you don't pick your kids up on time. How you dropping 4, 5 year crumb snatchers off and you won't even leave 5, 6 pack of ramen noodles and some Hawaiian punch, nothing. You have some black single mothers that are trifling just like that. They would drop their kids off on family and won't do nothing right. But will sit up there and will cry and say nobody ain't there for them and their kids. Child by, I done seen it all. And these are the same single mothers who will sit up here and say, I'm depressed. I'm struggling. I'm going through. I know you are, because you done burnt a lot of bridges. You done did a lot of people in who try to help you with your children. Now, also, the single mother, let me tell y'all, this is the other reason. I'm breaking down the reasons for everybody who's coming in. Why these single mothers are claiming to fall into a state of depression, are claiming to have postpartum. The other reason is the single mother has very limited freedom. Guess what? She can't turn up as much. She can't go to the ladies getting free drinks half off before 11 o'clock. She can't go because she don't have no babysitter. Plus, the child care don't open up that late on Fridays and Saturday nights for her to go to the club. Okay, third ward. You're a essential worker at the hospital. Okay, that's what's up. Big ups to all my essential workers in the building. I know I'm one. I'm a correctional officer. Unfortunately, I don't brag about it too much. They had put me in a new unit yesterday. They assigned me to a new group of inmates. So, you know, that was interesting. But overall, it was wonderful because nobody jacked off on me at night. So I count my blessings on that. I'm telling you. And this business, the stuff you have to deal with as a female correctional officer. Boy, boy, boy. We'll save that discussion for another time, though. Another reason a lot of these single mothers are falling off of who are claiming they're going through depression is because a lot of these single mothers, they still want a relationship. They still want to be desired. It's hard for a woman to get a real relationship when she has excessive baggage. These females are finding out the hard way that they can't find but so much fulfillment by being a baby mama. Now, I hear women all the time, I love my kids. My kids are my everything. All I need is my kids. I love my kids. That may be well and true. The truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, you are a woman. You want to be loved. You want to be desired. You're going to want a companion of your own. After a while, your kids alone ain't just going to do it for you. And a lot of black women, they do this all the time. They do this all the time. They want to claim all this love they got for their kids, but it's not enough. And I'm not saying that you should not love your child, and I'm not saying that these women don't love their children, but it's not enough because your kids cannot comfort you but so much. Your kids don't understand when you're having a bad day. Your kids, you really can't talk to them when you really need, you know, a shoulder to lean on or a shoulder to cry on. You know, you need a companion, you need a partner who can relate to some of your struggles, to some of your disappointments. And your kids ain't always going to do it for you. So all of these single moms who want to brag about their children and brag about I like my kids love me, I love them, all that's cute and wonderful, but at the end of the day, what do you have for yourself besides just your children? Let's keep it 100. As a woman, you got needs, okay? And I mean some real needs. Let's not play with it. We're all adults in here. Let's see. Mr. Cum says since COVID-19, domestic violence has went up. It doesn't mean you have to live in the house with the abuser. Yeah, a lot of that has going on. I know. In the jail where I work at, that's day in and day out. There's so many couples that's getting locked up because of this COVID and this quarantine, and yeah, it's a lot of that is going on. We getting a lot of people that's constantly getting arrested and booked because of that. There's a lot of couples. Definitely true. These chicks will front and act like as long as I know my kids love me, I don't need anybody else to love me. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's not enough. I don't care how much your kids love you. You eventually you're gonna want your own companion. As you seen in the clip that I showed earlier, a lot of y'all missed it because you're just coming in, so you're just gonna have to catch it on my playback. I showed the clip to y'all earlier. This broad was talking about how much she loves her kids, but yet so she was pouring down tears, distressed over a married man who clearly doesn't want her, and she was willing to wipe her kids and herself off the earth just because of him rejecting her. This is what I'm saying. This is the mindset. Uh the child's father has other children. So the child is never going to be given that undivided attention because he has several other siblings the child father has to be there for. Some of these females want a baby so bad, they don't care who they get them from. He could already be a man that has multiple children for multiple women, and it's always that one low self-esteem pigeon that will get knocked up from him anyway, knowing he has several other children. Okay. She finds out that her child has to compete to get his father's attention because he or she has several other siblings spread apart across town. Also, the father of the child absolutely can't stand her. All of these excuses that these women are coming up with for these single mothers are coming up with for why they depressed and they having postpartum. Some will come from the fact the father hates their guts. These women have baby daddies that can't stand them. And ironically, a lot of these women, they don't know why. They don't know why the father of their children hates their guts. They don't get it. They don't understand that they're too dramatic. They don't understand that they're too greedy. They're too demanding. They don't know why the baby daddy don't want to be there. Can't stay. They don't get it. And they will play this victim card. I don't know why he has nothing to do with his child. It's not that he wants nothing to do with the child. He wants nothing to do with you. And because he has to deal with you, then he can't deal with the child. Next, they hate the fact that if the child's father is remarried, he has to get approval from his wife before he agrees to do certain things for the child. Now, this is a big, big, big issue for single mothers. They hate when they have to go through their child's father, but he has to go through his wife. Okay? This is pretty typical. These baby mamas don't know why the father of their child just can't up and do things whenever she wants him to. Totally disregarding that he has a wife at home or he is in a relationship. Then these chicks want to push the narrative. My child comes first. My child is more important than your wife. But once the man is married, your child is no longer the number one priority. And a lot of them don't understand that. Once a man has remarried and has a wife, your children are no longer the priority. Now, that does not mean they're no longer our priority. They're just not number one. The wife comes first. It's as simple as that. A lot of baby mothers, they don't understand that. Especially if you've never been married before, you don't understand that. You don't. A lot of people don't understand how marriage works, and the way marriage works is husband and wife, husband and wife always going to come first. It's going to always be the priority first. It took me a while to learn that, but that's how it operates. Drink key. Oh. Um. So yeah, a lot of them are not understanding that you're not that the child is no longer the number one priority. Now that does not mean he's not supposed to have anything to do with the child or take care of the child. But guess what? If you want little JJ to come over for the weekend, you can't just up and bring him over there. You're gonna have to call him so he can call his wife and check with his wife. Hey, is it okay for him to come this weekend? Oh, it's okay for them to spend time this week. You can't just, well, I'm his baby mama. If I want him to come over there this weekend, he coming over there. No, it don't work like that. You have to make sure that the husband and wife is on the same accord. Topaz says, um, they offend me. I do love my kids. I don't feel the need to brag and protest to people. That's a big red flag. It's a mind state. They were messed up before kids and got them through messed up means. I agree, Topaz. That's you're right on that. Any woman who loves her kids, she ain't got to go around bragging about it. She ain't got to go around, posting this billboard. A woman who's taking care of her kids, she don't have to go around screaming it to the rooftop. I love my daughter too. I mean, and think anybody who's a parent loves their children. It's these ones who know they are in the struggle. It's the ones who know that they are on the losing end, that constantly feel a need. They have to keep bragging and acknowledging it. Them the ones who are doing it. Because he was never yours, you didn't care. Now, and he doesn't. Go figure. Yep, absolutely. Um, Looking at my notes here. Let me scroll down to my notes, y'all. Where's my place at? Okay, the just father. The father can't stand her. Look at my notes. And this is another issue that's starting to happen to a lot of single mothers. This is a big issue too. Um, she begins to have disciplinary issues with the child. This is a big issue that tends to happen in the black community where the single mother begins having disciplinary problems with the child. I find it ironic that some of these baby mamas will raise and train their children to disrespect the father simply because she's in her feelings. But what usually tends to happen, the mother that teaches the child to disrespect the father or allows the child to disrespect the father ends up getting disrespected by that same child. I've seen a lot of females do that. I've seen a lot of single mothers who have trained and taught their children not to respect the father, basically because she has an issue with the father or she's in her feelings with the father. So she allows her son or she allows her daughter to disrespect the father. But what ends up happening is 9 times out of 10, that same child who she teaches to disrespect the father, that child ends up disrespecting her. It happens all of the time. See, a lot of single mothers, they won't discuss this and they won't admit to it, but they create these monsters and now they want the father to step in and tame and retrain the monster that they created. This tends to happen a lot. Um, that's why you have to be careful with how you do things. Don't teach your children to adopt your malicious behavior. Don't teach them that, because when they end up using that same malicious behavior against you, now you looking stupid. Now you looking for somebody to come and save you from this child that you taught to adopt your disrespect. So even as a single mother, you have to be careful with how you train your children. Don't teach your children to hate the people you hate. Don't teach your children to adopt your emotions. Don't teach your sons, don't teach your daughters, don't teach your children to adopt your emotions. If it's somebody you don't like or somebody you can't stand, that's between you and that person. Certain people I don't like, but I still teach my daughter to respect the people that I don't like. Okay? Certain people I'm not fond of, and I still tell her, no, you that's not how you conduct yourself around them. Even and she knows certain people that I don't like. She knows certain people. My daughter knows certain people that I'm not fond of because she's 19. She's at that age where I can talk to her and I can communicate that. But I also teach her, you still respect that man. You still respect that woman. I don't care what me and that person got going. Mama grown, I can handle my own. You don't have to fight my battles. I teach my daughter, don't fight my battles. Don't adopt my anger. Don't adopt my feelings and my emotions. However me and that person rock, that's how we rock. Long as they respect you, that's all that matters. I don't need you defending mama battles. You don't have to, well, mama, if she don't like you, I don't like her. No, no, no. You don't do that. You still give her the same respect you would give me. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Because this is the problem with us as black women. We teach our children to adopt our anger, to adopt our animosity and our frustration. And you wonder why your children have so much anger and why they gone through so much different psychological emotions because you have cemented in them anger for something that they really don't need to be processing. If that makes any sense to anybody in here, just don't do it. Um, This happens a lot in the black community, and a lot of single mothers will not admit it. They create these monsters, and when a monster gets out of control, they want to run from the monster, or they want to call a father to come get them. Why you won't get little JoJo this weekend? Why you won't get? Oh, you only want the father to have a purpose when a child gets out of control. And I think single mothers, y'all are way out of pocket for that. You should not want the father to only have a say so when the child is giving you trouble. When a father has tried to reach out to you and tell you he's having problems, he's having issues, he's with the child disrespecting them, and you going off on him about it, or you ignoring him, or you making excuses. Okay, when the shoe is on the other foot and that child starts disrespecting you, don't call that man. Don't aggravate that man nerves about, well, little Jojo ain't doing this and little JJ ain't doing that. No, you didn't want to listen when it was his turn going through it. So guess what? He don't owe you anything in return. What's up, Red Mike? When you train children to disrespect the father, you train them to disrespect male authority. That's why they end up in jail. Absolutely. Black boys in particular. And you ain't never lied, Red Mike, because I see that all the time. I told you, I tell y'all I work in a correctional facility. These young men come in here off the chain. And these are the same ones who got mamas who defend all the unruly behavior, who defend all the man-child shenanigans. Um, they set these young black men up for failure. And when you teach a child to disrespect their father, they don't have no respect for male authority. And this is how they end up in the correctional facilities, where they still gonna have somebody that's gonna have authority over them. Because guess what? When you go to jail, you lost all authority. When you go to prison, you lost all authority. It don't matter what gang you in. It don't matter any of that. You lost all authority. Okay. Which is very true. Ted says, it's people in my family that if they don't like or respect a certain person, they let the child disrespect them too, and the parent don't do nothing. And I'm totally, totally, totally against that. I cannot stomach that. Do not let a child get into adult affairs. Don't let them get into adult affairs. But Ted, I know you're telling the truth because I see it all the time. It's the black community that does it. The black community, we will let our child disrespect people who we don't like. And you're setting your child up for failure because you're teaching that child that disrespect is acceptable. If you let them disrespect one person you don't like, they're going to feel like they can disrespect anybody. Yeah, you don't teach children how to don't teach kids to handle that anger because they don't know how to. Exactly. They don't know how to adjust that anger. They don't know how they don't have the maturity to know how to balance it. So that's very true. Um Also, I've witnessed single mothers not allow the man to have any authority or play any part in disciplining the child, except when the child ends up in a terrible predicament that is far too late to get them out of. The child has to end up in juvenile or jail. Now you want to reach out to the father. The child got killed by joining a gang or being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Now you want to reach out to the father so he can help pay with the funeral expenses. It just amazes me how a lot of these single mothers, they only want these men to play a certain part in a child's life. And when it gets turned up, now they want to blame the man. You never been there. You didn't step up. You listen to the man. You a deadbeat. You wouldn't allow him to be the man he could have been, the father he could have been, because you were so busy intervening out of your own personal selfishness because you wanted to have a say so. You wanted to control the situation. Happens very frequently. Um, Once these single mothers have encountered these harsh realities, this is when they pull these systematic stunts. They will either harm or threaten to harm their children. They will threaten to commit suicide. All of these things are desperate attempts to gain attention. And the real reason these single mothers are doing this is because They're angry with the fact the child's father doesn't want to be with them, and the only way they feel they can gain the attention of the child's father is pretending they are going to hurt themselves, or in the worst case, hurt the children. Many single mothers have hurt their own children, took all their anger and hate towards the kids to get back at the father. Some women are willing to hurt their own children so they can hurt the father. This is the mental psyche of many of these delusional single mothers that can't handle the fact that they have no control over their situation that they're pretty much stuck in. These single mothers are now trying to manipulate the families and the child's father into believing they are depressed or they are having issues coping with postpartum. Why I don't believe in postpartum? Me personally, I don't believe in postpartum. I don't believe in it. I believe it was a term that was came up with when non-black women of other races started hurting their children, started physically harming their children. All of a suddenly, the system and these hospitals, these psychiatric clinics came up with the term postpartum. I don't believe in it personally. And I'm gonna tell you why. Like I said, I think the court systems came up with that theory when non-black women, and that's how I'm gonna say it, started harming their children, and now black women are running with that same narrative. I'm so stressed. I'm so depressed. No, you are oppressed, sis. You don't put too much on your plate, and now you are tired of being a mother. Thank you, Counselor Murray, for the $4 donation. Appreciate it, sir. Thank you very, very much. Anybody else would like to donate? Cash App is Diamond Girl. Appreciate it. That's the problem with a lot of these single black mothers. They don't want their kids no more. Let's just call it out. We're not gonna come up with all these lies. We're not gonna come up with all these excuses. We're not gonna come up with, all these justifications. They don't want them no more. They tired of them. They are tired of the responsibilities. The food stamps, the housing, the child support, all of that is now outweighing the stress that they got to go through. You want out. You want to do away with your kids. Stop blaming it on postpartum. You wasn't depressed when those legs were spread on that air mattress, were you? You are so stressed that you have 5 kids back to back. I believe it exists, but I believe it has become a crutch. Because what I believe, Topaz, if that word never came out, if you think about it, if that word never came out, if postpartum was never existed, then what would have been their excuse? I just don't believe in it. It may be some truth to it. I don't believe in it. I think women who have postpartums is women who regret having a child. They're trying to give it this medical term that make it sound nice, but I just believe they just realize psychologically they done bit off more than they could chew. Now, it may be some truth to it. I just don't believe in it because I've just seen too many women, and not just black women. I've seen too many women use that as an scapegoat every time they hurt their child or every time they want to get rid of their child. I'm going through postpartum. I'm going through depression. I don't believe in postpartum, but I do believe in stress because being a parent is overwhelming. I believe in stress. I believe in, parents getting worn out. I do believe in having a meltdown. I believe in that because I've had it. As a parent, I've had a meltdown when I was going through those stages in my life. When my daughter started going through certain stages, and I mentally wasn't prepared to deal with it. I've had my meltdown moments, but I didn't use postpartum as an excuse. I just my thing, my whole issue was I was just overwhelmed because I believe if postpartum never existed, Nobody would use that word. It's that we know the word is there, so now we running with it. But I'm not denying, I'm not ruling it totally out. I'm not ruling it totally out, Topaz, but I just think too many people are running with that narrative, especially these single mothers who really don't want their children. What's up, Noble One? Um, but my thing is, they didn't have no postpartum when they was laying in that when they was laying on that air mattress. Where was the postpartum? How you get postpartum 5 baby daddies later? You getting postpartum? No, it's called I'm dealing with regrets. And I wish I didn't have this many children. I don't have postpartum. I'm struggling. I'm struggling with regrets. I done had all of these children that I don't want. Postpartum and depression have been used as an scapegoat of many single mothers to escape the responsibilities of single parenting, and it is also used to make these mothers feel less guilty about not wanting their children. If I could say I got postpartum, it makes me feel less guilty of saying I don't want my kids. It's more nicer. Think about it. It sounds more nice. What would you rather say? I don't want these badass crumb snatchers, or I'm having postpartum. Which one sounds nicer? I have yet to hear a single mother say, I want to get rid of all my kids. I wish I never had them. They're not going to say that. They're going to say I'm depressed and I'm having postpartum. They'll say that first. But they're not going to say I don't want them or I regret that I had them. They're not going to say it like that. It doesn't sound right. It sounds better if I say I got postpartum. That's like saying, I really didn't murder him. I just stabbed him. That's all. I just stabbed him repeatedly, but I didn't murder him. All I did was stab him 20 times, but I didn't murder him. Murder sounds a little too strong. No, boo, you murdered him, okay? You stabbed dude 20 times with that knife. No, you murdered that man. Okay? Ain't no I just stabbed him repeatedly. Come on, sisters. Let's stop. Come on now. We need to stop sugarcoating. Black women, we got to get it together. Let's stop coming up with stuff that sounds nice and let's be more honest. No, I'm tired of these badass kids. I'm tired of I don't care about the child support no more. I don't care about the food stamps. I need a break. I need to get rid of Lil JJ, Lil Ray Ray, Lil Kiki. I need to get rid of all these babies kids. Yeah, they be needing a defense, Topaz. We got to come up with something. We got to come up with something so it don't sound so bad. Again, I just stabbed him repeatedly, but I didn't murder him. I just stabbed him repeatedly till he kept bleeding and he finally died. But I didn't murder him. This is how, as black women, this is how we talk. Did that we says what sounds nice, okay? And I'm not saying this as far as all black women, but this is the thing that some of these, especially the majority of these delusional bras, this is what they will do. They will try to smooth it over, try to butter it up, try to make it not sound bad. uh Postpartum is a reason for big pharmas to push antidepressants. I believe that, non-GMO. Like I said, I think um that's a medical term that these scientists and doctors came up with, another way to profit off of women's emotions. And one thing I'm gonna tell you, black women, people been profiting off of our emotions for years. they always making a living off us, telling us we depressed so we can buy their medicine. We go to these doctors telling us we psychologically damaged so we can invest in all these therapists and all this. And the bottom line is you just have made bad decisions that have mentally overwhelmed you. And I've always kind of thought about that. Why don't they say before sex, I can't do it alone. So if I get pregnant and you leave me, I'll leave the baby on your doorstep. I'll be the one to visit. Then he knows you can't do it alone. Oh, Lizzie, that sounds so wonderful. But we're talking about the majority of these sisters are in denial and they are delusional. They will never, ever say that. It's never going to happen. They're going to sit here and lie and make it seem like even if you're there for me, even if you don't want to be there for me, I can take care of little JoJo. They're going to lie. They're going to lie. I wish they would. It would make life so much easier for them, but they're not going to do that. You have a lot of sisters. They will do before they think. They'll jump and make bad choices and then think about it later versus thinking about the what's the worst that can happen before I got here and do that. They're not going to do that. Black women are known to play Russian roulette with their womb, with their bodies, with their lives. We've been known to do it for years, and it has come back to haunt a lot of us by you know doing before thinking. When you don't reason all the consequences before you make the decision, it's common sense. As a black woman, you meet a certain guy, you can tell by the way he treats you. This is not the type of dude to have a child from. I don't care how bad you want to get pregnant. It's common sense. you know uh Guys in a relationship, the man doesn't want a relationship. He has multiple children from other women. You see all of that there. We as black women, we have allowed desperation to get in our way of common sense. That's what has happened with black women in the black community. Common sense is we done lost it. We lost it because we have allowed desperation and entitlement. Once a woman gets it in her mind, I want a child, she will stop at nothing to do that. She don't care who she get it from. And then when she gets that child that she wanted so bad, the girl said in the video, the girl said she kept having baby after baby after baby after baby. She saw how hard it was with the first one. It didn't stop her going at it 4 more times. It's the same pattern. Exactly, Kels. They repeat the same pattern over and over, and now they want to scream. PTSD. That's what I'm saying. Come on, sisters. Y'all really, we need to quit. We really need to quit. Black women, y'all know better. Y'all just want to keep taking a chance. And then when it don't come out the way you think it should, now you want to scream postpartum and depression. All you want to scream, oh, he's a deadbeat. He's a deadbeat. Yep, but you was letting that deadbeat beat it. Was he a deadbeat then when he was beating it? I don't think so. So there are a lot of women who have children that they don't want. Do y'all not realize that? That it's a lot of black women who got children and they don't want them. Don't think that just because a woman has a child, that means she wants them. What's up, Marty? Yep, my cousin was at the VP at the Bank of America and decided to have a baby out of wedlock at age 40. Well, that was very brilliant. How you wait till you get that old to make a decision that dumb? That's something I expect a 20-year-old or 18-year-old. But age does not define common sense. It just doesn't. It happens a lot, Marty. You got a lot of women who wait to get up in their age and make 20-year-old girl decisions, 16-year-old girl decisions. Come on. There are single mothers who have kids to trap the father, and now they don't want the child. Now that they see having a child still didn't trap the man like they thought it would. There are women that don't want their child because they basically created the monster, and now they don't want to deal with the monster they created because the monster has gotten far too out of control. When you have multiple children, it can be very overwhelming. Children are very expensive, very demanding. They cry a lot. They don't understand what you go through as an adult because they are just children. These women have placed themselves in a predicament in which they can't get a break. They can't get rid of the children if they wanted to. So that's where the frustration sets in. I don't believe in postpartum. It's an excuse used to justify the fact you had kids you really don't want anymore. You had kids thinking you was going to have your way and it didn't work out as planned. Men have the option to walk away from their child if they don't really want to deal. But the truth is, women don't have it like that. Now, many have left them and abandoned them, but for the most part, the responsibility is still going to be on us the majority of the time. So, this is my final conclusion with this topic. Women, single mothers, stop using depression and postpartum as an excuse. You made that bed and you got the woman up and lie in it. These children did not ask to come here. If you know in your heart you maliciously had a child out of spite, you don't have to go around and admit it to nobody, but at least admit it to yourself. You have to admit to yourself that you know without a shadow of a doubt in your heart, you really did not want that child like that. You got in a desperate state of moment. You were scared the man was going to leave you. You were scared the relationship was going to end, or you got scared you wasn't going to find nobody else. You panicked. So you hurried up and you made a spontaneous decision. You made a permanent decision based off of temporary feelings. And now the child is here. Looking back, you really regret it. You see, it didn't turn out none of like you thought. You thought maybe having that child was going to bring y'all closer. Maybe he was going to give in and marry you. Maybe y'all was going to be this family. Just whatever desperate state of mind you was in at that moment. And also Topaz, yeah, that's a good point. They also have babies to cover up BS that they did after the kid is born. That happens a lot. That's actually a good point. Some women have children to redeem themselves and feel like now that I have a child, nobody can't look at what I done before I had that child. That's very true. That was a point I actually didn't think about. But that happens a lot. I've known women who cheated all throughout their marriage, and to save their marriage, they turned around and got pregnant from their husband just so they can keep the marriage, thinking that, okay, now that I gave him that son he wanted, or now that I gave him that daughter he wanted, now he can overlook all of the stuff I done did. That happens a lot. It's a lot of women, they're not getting pregnant for the right reasons. It's all with motives, it's all with hidden agendas, and if so, it's going to come back and bite you sooner or later. So in the long run, you're going to be the one to answer to that. And if that man played any part in it and he know he should have been there and he made that agreement, then he's going to pay for it too. But if you did it maliciously and you know in your heart you did it and nobody knew it but you're going to have to answer the karma, ladies. You're going to have to pay for karma. So again, this has been a very, very, very extensive subject. I've gone on an hour and 57 minutes because there was a lot that was tied into this situation. I felt it was very imperative that I discuss this. Because again, it's time for us as black women. We got to start making better decisions. We're at a state of an emergency. We cannot afford to be making the decisions that we make. A lot of us, we're getting older. We're not getting any younger. It's important that you start making better decisions with your life now, especially if you have children. You got a daughter, you got a son, you got children in your lives that's looking up to you, that's watching what you do as an adult. It's important that they see you make wise decisions. Um, if not, you're reproducing that seed, you're reproducing that generational curse. It's going to continue to get getting worse. They say people are depression to explain they acting up towards the baby dad and others when they can't trap the man. Yep, happens all too often. All of us know sisters who have done it. Some of us have done it. You may have one or two women that'll be honest and say, "Yep, I tried to trap him, but I trapped myself. I ruined my life. Thinking I was going to ruin his life, I ruined my life." So yes, overall, y'all, this has been a very extensive topic. And I'm glad, everybody was able to come in and share their perspective and their input. Single mothers, you're going to have to learn how to deal with the cards you're dealt with. If you have to do it by yourself and you can't get the cooperation from the father, karma will deal with him in his own timing. In the meantime, you're going to have to woman up and stop using depression or postpartum. All this hurting your children, hurting yourself, all because you're in love with a man who really don't want you, and you think you're going to prove and get the attention you want by killing your child. Only thing that's going to end up is you're going to either lose your children or you're going to end up in prison. You're going to lose your children to death, or you're going to lose your children through the prison system. And that man may end up raising your children anyway once you get locked up in prison, because the courts is going to grant him full custody. So this is stuff you got to think about before you just jump off on a deep end because you want to prove a point. So before I get ready to shut things down, if you haven't already, please make sure you hit that like button. I would really appreciate it if everybody take the second to do that. If anybody feels there's any other topics that you would like me to address or discuss about the Black community, please email me at cafe de paris 79 at yahoo.com. Anybody who wants to support my brand, wants my channel to continue to grow and prosper, you're welcome to cash at me at Diamond Girl. Also, if this does not apply, you don't have to reply. This content is not in reference to all Black single mothers or Black men or all Black women. So do not take the content personally. If the shoe fits, then you just have to wear it. Please share, like, and subscribe. Also, I still have my cable app for those of you who are interested in getting cable. I have a cable app with over 6,000 channels a month. You only have to pay $25 a month. You just have to have a Fire Stick, and I will give you all the information. I can turn your cable on today or tomorrow. If you are interested, I got the hookup. I have local news channels for your state that I will be able to provide you. I don't care where you live at. I can provide you with local news stations in your area, free pay-per-view events, all the premium channels, everything for only $25 a month. That's not a promotion price. That is my regular price. So before you give all these cable companies, some of y'all are paying $200, $300 a month for satellite dish, for Comcast, for local cable, and a lot of y'all are paying expensive packages because the more expensive the cable package, that's the more you get in the package. I can give you triple as much and you paying much less. So a lot of these cable companies are rip-offs. They're giving you the best pack. They're only giving you the best packages that are the most expensive. Which kind of sucks. Or sometimes you have to do like a bundle to save money. You got to get the phone, then the internet, and then the cable if you want to save money. But with me, if you have an Amazon stick, I could actually connect your cable services today. Also, this content has been brought to you by the Anti-Fuckery Zone, promoting knowledge, not garbage. We aim to build the Black community, not to demolish it. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I thank each and every one of y'all so much. Thank you, Counselor Murray, for the super chat. Thanks to everybody hanging out in the live. For all of you, if this is your first time joining my content, please make sure you subscribe because I got more interesting topics I'm going to be talking about. My next subject, I'm going to be talking about corruptions and corrections, female officers that are basically getting terminated from law enforcement due to fraternizing with inmates. This is becoming an ongoing problem as well in the community. And unfortunately, I'm starting to notice it's a lot. It's way more Black female officers than there are non-Black female officers that are getting caught fraternizing with inmates. Um, and this is a continuous issue in corrections. It's a lot of women that are female officers and they're getting manipulated by these inmates. They are sneaking in contraband, sneaking in cell phones, sneaking in food. Female officers actually put monies on these guys' books. They're emailing them, they calling them. It's just terrible. We just really lost a good officer recently, young woman who got caught up in this fraternizing situation, and it happens a lot all over the world, more frequently than we think. If you're going to be a woman that decides to get into corrections, you definitely going to have a strong mind. These guys are going to try to finesse you. They're going to try to finesse you. They're going to manipulate you. Next thing you notice, you end up on the news. Your whole family sees you have to walk down hall of shame, and it's just so sad to keep seeing good female officers getting caught up in that situation or whatever. But anyway, we're going to talk about that on my next upload. But until then, everybody, I appreciate your support. It is your girl, your diva and knowledge lady Mocha. Remember, I'm going to always pour you a cup of truth, and I'm going to always break you off a slice of knowledge. Y'all have been so awesome. Hope everybody has a wonderful week, and y'all be safe out there. Please make sure y'all wearing those masks. This COVID is nothing to play with. I don't care if other people don't believe in it. Make sure you protect yourself and you protect your loved ones.